What's going on, everybody? It's Adrian here. It's 20 after 4 Pacific time. I'm on the West Coast and just going to get into a little analysis here. Today we're going to look at the US Canadian dollar. Really like what I see here on the daily setup, but let's go back to get a bit of perspective here first, as I always like to do. Bit of a zoom out to look at the last couple of years. So you can see we're coming from a big spike up after COVID and everything that happened with the markets in March, up to 146, all the way back down to we're around 127, 128 right now. So that's close to 2,000 pips, which is a big move in this pair. So we're definitely in a strong downward trend. As we've been going along, we've just been smashing through these levels of support. However, we have seen the last week, price came down last Friday, hit that 127.7 level, and then we've seen it test and reject the last 3 days. Today we had, or yesterday, earlier this morning my time, we had a catalyst event with Bank of Canada. They sort of kept everything status quo, which was sort of anticipated. And if we break down to the hourly chart, we can see overnight last night it was sold off in the European markets, came into the North American session here, and when the news broke, the initial move was down, strong rejection up, and then we had another close here above 128. Again, back to the daily chart, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row this level is held, and we've had the last 2 days larger wicks down to the bottom, showing us a bit of rejection off this price. Buyers are stepping in, and closes above 128 around the same level. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for ideally a break above this level, a break above 128.35, and a continuation upwards. So in that case, we'd use a buy stop there with our stop loss below the low of the support level here. So we're looking at about a 74, 75 pip stop loss. Again, the key, make sure your risk is okay. Make sure your lot sizes you're trading can warrant the loss. Focus on the risk, focus on the risk, focus on the risk. To the upside, first target we're going to look at is going to be 129. So we're looking at about a 1-to-1 reward to risk ratio there on that setup. Another setup I'm going to look for is going to be another test and rejection of this 127.7 level. So we'll see if that happens, if price does fall down. If we get a rejection here on a 1 hour or 4 hour candle, we'll look to buy that with a stop tight below it. And the last setup I'm going to look for here is going to be a sell, and that's going to be if we see price come back down here and sort of have some sort of consolidation near these lows and then break through. In that case, we use a sell stop and take it down. And the next level of support I've got on my charts is around 127.3. So we're looking at about a 40 pip move there, and then 127 as a round figure would be below that. So definitely still room to the downside, but I'm going to look with the last 2 candles we've seen and this level hold here over the last 5 days. Ideally, I'm going to look for a bit of a retracement here back up with a break above those highs. So we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not going to enter in anything right now. I'm going to wait to see what happens with price before we do, but that's what I'm looking for. Good luck out there.